Sonic Frontiers was a game that genuinely surprised me when I played it, because I had mentioned before that it wasn't a game that intrigued me, but once I finally got to playing it, I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen my video about my opinions on that game, the link will be in the top right. For this video, I wanted to focus on the game that came after this, the game that had me excited from the start, as opposed to Frontiers, which had me questioning a lot of things. The game that to me is still much more superior to Sonic Frontiers. Ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, I give you Sonic Eraser. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I mean Shadow Generations. Shadow Generations released in about late 2024, and compared to Frontiers, I was more hyped for this game because, well, as I stated before, I more prefer the boost gameplay over the new direction Frontiers was going. Even my tweets from that era reflected a more positive, outlook for this game compared to Frontiers. This whole video idea I had gave me an opportunity to replay Shadow Generations because I haven't played that game since launch night, when I beat the game in like one sitting on a live stream. Minus like my revisits to try to get the platinum trophy, which by the way, these rocket parts can go fuck themselves. And man, getting to replay this game for this little look back, it really reminded me of why I liked this game when it came out. The game just feels really good to play. I think they really nailed the controls with this boost formula here. I'd argue it's the best feeling boost game we've had, period, to be honest. I mean, even during high speed gameplay or very tight platforming sections, I never once felt like I was out of control. Shadow isn't a slippery mess. Jumping doesn't feel very weighted. It feels decent. And like I said, going at high speeds, it didn't feel uncontrollable. It didn't feel messy. It felt good. The flow felt really great. It's just a complete 180 from last game, mainly with the cyberspace levels, which I highlighted in that last video. I felt they controlled a little funky at times. I don't think the controls were made for that gameplay style, because obviously Sonic Frontiers wasn't a boost game. And funnily enough, compared to other boost games, I actually found even the 2D sections to feel really nice. I feel like Sonic Team has always had a weird history with making 2D gameplay in these boost formula games good. They've always felt a little weird, sometimes a little heavy, sometimes a little imprecise. In this game, I didn't have a complaint with that. I actually, like I said, found 2D sections in this game to be pretty fun. And honestly, in my revisit, I didn't have any hatred for any of these levels. I thought all the levels were really good in this game. Obviously, in my first playthrough, I found Chaos Island to be very weak, mainly because of the Doom Morph power-up, but on my revisit and knowing how to actually use the Doom Morph power-up, I consider Chaos Island one of my favorite levels in this game now. But I think Kingdom Valley is just slightly above it, mainly because both acts are really good. I just find the visuals, too, of Kingdom Valley to be so much better than all the other levels. Maybe I'm just a sucker for that whole aesthetic in general, but man, it looks really good. I keep saying that. But that's no hatred to Chaos Island. Both of these levels visually are the best. But all the levels in this game are fun to play and well designed. Don't let my glazing of these two specific levels deter you from trying this game out or thinking highly of the other levels, because there are some good levels in this game. I mean, the game visually is really beautiful. This is a complete step up, and I think that even in terms of animations, they completely outdo Frontiers. I think the animations here are miles better than that game's. The Sonic vs. Shadow sequence honestly being my favorite cutscene in this whole game, period. The soundtrack, though, I mean, I find it to be okay, and there are some wonderful remixes and themes, but as a whole, compared to the original generations, I don't really like it as much. My favorite tracks in this game, again, being Kingdom Valley and the vocal theme for Metal Overlord, What I'm Made Of. And while I'm talking about bosses, I found every single boss to be well designed and honestly really fun to play. In a game like Sonic, where there's been plenty of repetitive boss fights, even a whole game that is the poster child for shit boss design, it was a genuine surprise how much I really enjoyed the bosses even on my revisit. I already mentioned Metal Overlord. I thought Mephiles was a wonderful boss fight and a surprising addition to this game, honestly. I'm surprised they remembered this dude. And it's actually pretty nice to see him get some redemption, even though his redemption is very short-lived. It's not even 5 minutes long for this boss fight. Actually, I think that's a good segue into my opinions on this game's plot and story, because that's kind of how I feel. It's actually really nice to see another character get the spotlight again, and at that, be a character that had an attempt at this in the past that flopped expeditiously. It's so nice to see these characters get redemption in their story arcs, and I think the writers nailed the fucking story. But time out for a sec. What is Black Doom's obsession with Radical Highway? And I know this is something that every reviewer and Let's Player has pointed out. I'm just the next one to do it, I guess. I know it was Shadow's introductory level in Sonic Adventure 2, But this level appears so much in this game, even being the final level. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. It's like my only gripe with this game. Besides that little critique, honestly, the story, like I said, is pretty good. Complete 180 from the original generations. This tweet I made speaks for itself, honestly. It's a more serious story without it feeling forced or too out of place. It probably helps that Shadow's whole narrative and characterization was based around being more serious and a darker character. This dude is fighting literal demons and trauma, and this game portrays it well without the corny bullshit writing or without the usage of the word damn for some fucking reason.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
This game right here is one we needed, and I'm happy that Sega, let someone else have the spotlight for once. I hope this is like the beginning of them getting comfortable with Sonic's friends getting back in the action on more than just a gameplay level. Like, I would love to see backstories behind some of these characters. And based off Sonic Frontiers and the Final Horizons DLC, I'm assuming that's the direction they're heading, and I would really love to see that because I never really read the comics, and I'm sure the comics probably do what I'm asking for, giving us more focus on the characters' stories and backstories. Maybe I should give the comics a try someday, and I might, you never know. But all in all, Shadow Generations is a comfortable ride through and through, and unlike Frontiers, this game was only $50 when it launched, and it still is. That's a little cheaper than Frontiers, and again, these Sonic games, they go on sale pretty often, so if you're waiting to play this game, get it on a sale, or if you really want to bite the bullet, go for the $50 because there's 2 games in this package. Yeah, they're very short games, and I haven't talked about the original generations as much. Probably save that for a future video, honestly. But without, getting too into it, both these games are really wonderful. And despite the short playtime, there is plenty of replayability, especially if you're a completionist, trophy grinder, anything like that. There is a lot of substance here, despite these short game times. If I were to give my final thoughts and sum it up very quickly, Shadow Generations is the game that should dictate Sonic's boost formula going forward if they decide to continue down that route. I have no doubt we're getting more boost games. But I feel like for a good little bit, Frontiers and that whole open world style is probably going to be Sega's focal point, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I said, I was genuinely surprised by Frontiers, and that game's really good too, but Shadow Gens is just a little bit better than that game to me. If they end up going to the boost formula again, I hope they take cues from Shadow Gens, because this game nailed it in terms of the boost gameplay. And wonderful game, wonderful story, wonderful gameplay. What's there not to love about this game, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.